John Basilone is one of the more iconic figures of World War II. He is a Medal of Honor recipient, one of the earlier Medal of Honor recipients. He becomes a stateside celebrity when he returns to the United States, and then has that honor of returning to the war in the Pacific and receiving the Navy Cross posthumously at the Battle of Iwo Jima. Guadalcanal would prove to be the first major engagement and land battle in the Pacific. It was critical to American victory. If we had lost the Battle of Guadalcanal, we very easily could have lost the war. The most impressive thing about Basilone's actions that night was he sort of single-handedly holds off this Japanese regiment. By the end of the 3 days, they counted 38 bodies in front of Basilone's machine gun emplacement. He eventually moved his machine gun because the bodies were stacked so high he couldn't maintain a clear field of fire. I think it's important when you look at anybody from the World War II generation, the common theme of the greatest generation, as they've been called, is the common man, the humility. And Basilone, was very typical of that personality.
It was in a good outfit with good men. I just happened to be there, and anyone would have done the same in my place.
He felt this is where he belonged. There's a feeling of brotherhood that can't be explained. As a lot of the men said, they said he was more like a big brother. He wasn't like a real sergeant, and that's what they loved about him. And I think growing up in a big family and being close to his brothers, of course his sisters, maybe that's what inspired him to act like a big brother rather than the drill sergeant. I think my uncle was just a neighborhood guy who came from a big family, didn't have a lot of money. He did it himself. It was his own inspiration. I think he really knew he was meant to do something different.
We have massive shoulders to stand on and a legacy to uphold day in, day out. Being that John Basilone was attached out to suicide on that night. And every day I walk into work with that mindset that I need to uphold that legacy, and I'll hold that standard with my Marines when we're training.
The culture of 1-7 is special, right? We're all about honoring our history and legacy from those who have come before us and done great things for the battalion and for the Marine Corps. Hard work trumps all in 1st Battalion, 7th Marines.
We're a family, and we do a lot of things together. Being in the Marine Corps and being away from your family at home, you kind of adopt these guys as your brothers and sisters, a part of your unit. You see it a lot with Victor 1-7, especially in Animal Company. We have the first team motto, and that's the first team, first family. Same in one. We do everything together, and we'll do it always.
The experience of coming out here to Raritan and meeting the Basilone family and the parade committee and being a part of such a historic event for somebody who we all call in 1-7 a hero and somebody we need to live up to has been unmatched. John Basilone is a god amongst men. His name will never be erased from Marine Corps history and in this town.
Growing up here, you are just so familiar with John Basilone and his story. And so a lot of our events get, the local community out here. They definitely want to come and support, and it's great to see. We have the 5K on the Saturday, and it just grows every year. Parade's a lot of work, but people are so happy to come out and put in that work, and it's like our holiday. It's like our town holiday. It really is.
It's just so beautiful to see the streets grow more, and the children out there, and they're waving their flags, and it's a great feeling. It really is. Our main objective is to keep my uncle's spirit alive. We were told that the Marines, when they go to boot camp, they learn about him. So I believe that because of his story, because of what he has done, people just want to keep it going and let everybody know why we are here, why we do have our freedom.
I'm privileged to name DDG 122 USS Basilone.
The destroyer can add a lot to the amphibious ready group. Whether it's escort duties, just being there as extra protection to protect shipping while they're in transit, and certainly once you get close to the beach and you're trying to do a landing, providing fire support. It definitely is it's an enabler that helps get the weapon of the art, which is the Marines, getting them to the beach. So when you can incorporate a destroyer in there, it just provides that extra level of protection and lethality. When something's named after a person, it's a way to let their memory live on. Selfless Warriors is our call sign. I wanted something that, again, would resonate with the crew, that would give us our own identity of who we are, what we're all about, but I also wanted something that also spoke to who John Basilone was. He didn't have to go back. He could have stayed in the U.S. and had a pretty sweet life moving forward after Guadalcanal, and he asked and asked and asked, and they sent him back. And he was training Marines, getting ready for the assault, which he later found was the assault at Iwo Jima. That example of selflessness, the concept of selfless service and sacrifice. And so I thought that was a good way to not only honor our namesake, but also to honor our sponsors. And it just it brought everything together, and then definitely gave an identity for the ship and for the crew. That's one of the challenges of leadership that we have, is helping connect the crew to the namesake. I think when your crew is connected to the namesake, it gives you a common identity. It's one thing for me to have that, but it's another thing when I see my crew take that same ownership. And that's one of the amazing things about the John Basilone crew is, as you get a chance to get to know them, you will see a group of sailors that owns their mission. Everything we do here is about training. It's about getting us ready to sail down the river and join the fleet. It's about getting us ready to operate and maintain our equipment. And eventually it's getting us ready to operate our combat system and be able to take this ship forward as a weapon system of the United States Navy.
I think Marines are always bonded by the simple fact that they're Marine. The weapons, the vehicles, the ships, they all change over time, but that aspect of being a Marine, wearing that dress blue uniform, wearing the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor never changes. The times change, the battles change, the enemy may change, but the Marines don't change.